Buenas noches, coaches. Espero que igual que yo estén teniendo una noche magnífica. Esta noche estoy muy emocionado porque finalmente terminé de editar y subtitular la entrevista con Zan Perrion. Para los que no lo saben, Zan es una persona que vive una auténtica obra de arte. Vive con pasión y cada uno de sus días es una aventura, un recuerdo para la posteridad. El día de hoy él nos va a hablar un poco acerca de cómo vivir con pasión, cómo sentirnos llenos, no solo llenos de bienes materiales, sino llenos profundamente. Y además, ojo aquí, porque él es un gran seductor y amante. Entonces nos va a decir qué es lo que hace que él, siendo una persona honesta e íntegra, pueda ser un seductor y un amante. Entonces los invito a ver esto, que es la entrevista con Zan Perrion, donde van a poder aprender acerca de lo que le falta a la humanidad, de quién es esta gran persona, autor, escritor, actor, seminarista, coach, maestro, entre muchas otras cosas más, que nos va a compartir grandes secretos por los que él además suele cobrar. Entonces, ojo aquí, los invito a que escuchen esta increíble entrevista. Van a ver a continuación un video de él haciendo aparición en la película Let the Game Begin hace unos años. Y después de eso empieza esta entrevista. Entonces, chicos, chicas, coaches, nos vemos en el siguiente nivel. Hero, out.
Hey, look, it's my friend Zan coming here, okay? Zan is the master of natural game. Zan, what's up? Good to see you, man. This is my cousin Trip.
Trip, I'm Zan.
Master of natural game.
What are you guys doing sitting here? Beautiful women everywhere, a garden of delights, and you're sitting here.
We were just having a heart-to-heart.
Yeah, what about?
I was, talking to Trip about attraction.
Attraction's very simple. A man who likes women is liked by women. He'll be drawn to you like a moth to a flame. Every woman wants to be in a love story. What's your love story, Trip?
See that? You gotta create some magic. Now look at him, 3 seconds, he's gone. That's the 3-second rule. You see something that you like? 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, you go, you say whatever, you ask whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just about getting past the fear. They sense that. We have this fear, apparently, that we've just inherited over the years, probably from when we were hunters. Talk to a woman that belonged to another man, it meant putting your life at risk. Our egos now. It's all about confidence, look at Zan. You see how natural he is? Smooth, he makes the women feel at ease. Puts a smile on their face. You can learn.
Okay, got it.
I'm in Skype with Zan Perrion. He's a person who lives with passion and who is a big lover of all the beautiful things that the world has to offer us. Also, he's a writer, actor, coach, seminarist, and has a really interesting life traveling through the world and teaching people how to live with passion and some other things that he's gonna tell us in just 1 second. So, Zan, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. In wintry Bucharest. It's snowing here right now.
Nice. Here in Mexico it hasn't snowed like in 100 years, but we're also in winter. So now, Zan, I want you to tell me a little bit more about who you are and what you have done all over the world and in your life. Please, Zan, tell me a little bit of this.
Sure. Like I'm from Canada originally, and I grew up in the north of Canada in the wilderness. And just briefly, I came out of the wilderness when I was 19 years old to civilization, for example. and I was attracted to women, but I had no social skills or social grace. And so from my early 20s, I said, I've got to solve this problem for me, and I've got to understand the heart and mind of women, because I adored women. And I spent all those years since then trying to capture the essence of the female spirit and trying to understand the energy or the dynamics of a man who really loves life and loves women and has women in his life. So I've spent many years considering this, talking to women all over the world, and about 12 years ago or so, I quit my job in Canada and I started to travel, and I traveled all over the world since then. I've been to Mexico many times, and I've been, very many places in the world talking to men about women, talking to women about men. And so I've done it for a long time. I've done seminars, I've done lectures in universities, I've been represented in the media, on TV, magazines, newspapers, etc. And I just finished recently my book, which you know about, The Alabaster Girl, which it took me 10 years to write, exactly 10 years. And I finished it recently, and it is basically the whole concept of this living with passion, as you said, as a life force. And so that's a little bit about me. And now I'm in Bucharest in the winter talking to you.
Nice. Zan, let me tell you that The Alabaster Girl, it's a fantastic book. In this moment, I'm reading Carl Rogers, and really, I have been with the same book like for 1 month. It's short and it's tough, but your book was so digestible.
Yeah.
Being really big, I finished it in like 1 week. I just couldn't stop reading it. It's amazing.
It's big. It's 400 pages, and it's like 2 books in one. And it's true, but it's everything I know has been stamped into that book, and it's like all these years of 30 years of trying to understand the heart of women, and it's all and the heart of men, and what makes us passionate, what makes us full of life, and that's all, as you saw, that's all in there. Everything I have is in there.
I've seen how you really open your soul writing this book.
Yeah.
I'd like to know a little bit more about what is your mindset and how you perceive the world around you.
Well, that's a great question. I always, I think that in a very broad way, I think that we're missing something on this earth in our generation, and that is we're missing the concept. As you probably noticed in my book, we're missing the concept of beauty, and we feel that everywhere we go, that everything has degraded into the absence of beauty, and all of our media, in the television shows we watch, in our governments, there's a lot of pessimism, skepticism, catastrophe, trouble. And I think that, if I'm trying to see the world in a certain way, I'm trying to seek out the beauty. What is beautiful in this world, with ourselves, with others, with the way we move through life? So for me, it is like, I think we have this heavy, dark, masculine energy that's coating the earth, and we're missing the soft, life-giving, nurturing, feminine energy as a balance to that. So we have this aggressive, strong, destructive force that's flowing over the earth, and we're missing beauty. That's my worldview.
Wow, that's something that I think it's really strong. It's a really good illustration of the situation in the world. So right now, I would like to know, since when you get out from the woods, how did you develop this idea? How did you learn, or where did you get this model of the world from? Because you're with me that you didn't develop this from one day to another. So please tell me, where did you get it from?
Well, that's a good question, because I've never, people ask me all the time, where did you learn these kinds of things? And I have never taken any kind of seminar. I've never read any books, like self-help books, or books on relationships, even the common ones that people read, like I'm okay, you're okay, or The Secret, or any of these kind of things. Power of Now. I've never read any books like this. I've never taken any programs. My only training ground has been traveling and sitting, like, as I've said, at the virtual knee of women and looking up to their faces and say, tell me more. Tell me about who you are. Tell me about what women represent. And my only learning has been from these kinds of experiences. My learning is all experiential. I've taken no kind of classroom or structural or academic training in any of this at all. And all I do is what I learn in practical ways. I turn around and try and present it to other people. That's all.
Nice. Yeah, totally. Now, Zan, please tell me, in this moment, other than traveling, what other thing are you doing right now?
Well, the only thing that's important to me is the concept that we've lost from the earth, and I think we've lost it all over the earth, and probably including Mexico, and that is this. We used to have the sense of gathering together. We used to gather together in communities, and we used to gather around the fire and tell the stories of the day. We used to do that. We used to gather in our circles, in our groups, and tell stories. And we've lost that storytelling mystique. Instead, we all go to our separate rooms, our separate apartments, our separate houses. We get on the internet and we gather on Facebook. We gather, online, is sitting in separately. And so we've lost something. We've lost something about the rituals and ceremonies of gathering together. I mean, Mexico has a huge, rich history of rituals and ceremonies. And we don't have that anymore. Like, you look at a Mexican kid born today, he grows up, he's on the internet, he's got a cell phone, he plays his, he goes to school, he does these things, he becomes older, he meets a girl, he marries a girl, he meets another girl, because that relationship breaks up, and then he gets, old and he dies. There's no sense of ceremony in that, or ritual that we used to have. And I think we've lost that. We used to have little rituals on a daily basis, a monthly basis, a yearly basis. And I think because of that, we just don't have any direction. We just have this, we're born, we run through life trying to accumulate cars and money and things, and we get cancer and die.
And one more time, I'm in agreement with you. But now tell me, what will be your proposal to make a change happen? What can you propose for the humanity to create leverage and to create a really big change? Because one thing is a problem, but now we need to focus on the solution. So tell me, Zan.
I talk about the concept of men being men again, and of women being women again. In this day and age, we're all blended together, and we're kind of half and half, and we've lost this sense of polarity, the polarity and the tension of our sexual nature, which is inherent in us. And so, my message to men is a very strong one. I'm very strong with men, and I say there's no more time to waste. If we can either be mediocre, or we can be leaders, and we can be strong and leading our lives, leading our destiny. And my message to women is to reclaim, just like the men need to reclaim their masculine spirit, the women need to reclaim the beauty of the feminine spirit. And so my message is broad-reaching, and it is definitely this all-encompassing thing where I'm thinking that we need to reach out more to the feminine grace and bring it back into balance with this strong masculine heavy energy that we've got. So it's a movement that has to happen. It has to be a men's movement and a woman's movement, and they have to be inspired by each other. So right now, I mean, like, our greatest our greatest or our biggest influences, our biggest motivators are surface. So if you read like a Cosmopolitan magazine, it's things like advice to women how to get a guy to give you a ring, how to manipulate him into giving you a ring, or into doing these things for you. And men's magazines and advice is all about how to get that girl into bed. And it's like something's lost in that. So we've lost the power of communion. We've lost the great power of communion. And so it's a big thing, and it's a necessary thing, and I think it's going to happen.
Well, one more time, I'm in agreement with you. I heard you one time said that there's no more men and women, masculine and feminine, yin and yang. There's only gray matter. Yes. And we have lost this sense of polarity between men and women.
Yeah.
But how can I explain this? It's really something tough to understand and more to explain. I think that we need this change, this leverage all around the world. But now, right now, when you talk about getting around the fire again at the end of the day and sharing all of our experiences, how can you do that the people who listens to you really do these changes? What does it makes them to create change in their lives? Please tell me, Zan.
Here's the great thing, is like most guys and women out there do not know what it is they're seeking. They're seeking some relevance in life, and they don't know what that looks like. So they chase jobs and cars and money and business, and they're still unfulfilled. They still don't have love in their life. They still don't have somebody who cares about them. And so the whole thing is like but the moment they hear this kind of a conversation that we're having right now, they say, yes, this is what I have been seeking, and I don't know how to attain it, and I don't know how to get there, and I didn't even know how to put words on it. So the need is strong. I mean, all over the world. I've been in countries all over the world, and I hear the same messages from women, the same messages from men. Cultures change, yes, but it's still the same thing. It's still the same deficit, the same problem, the same need that is being completely unmet. So for me, it's like, the moment they hear what we're trying to describe, what we're trying to create on the earth, they all want to be involved, and they want to be on board. When I tell women, for instance, what I do for the seminars I do with men and the work I do with men, they 100% of them say, this is incredible, and I wish I could do the same thing for women. So there's a need, and there's a desire to help, and there's a desire to effect this change.
And of course, I need to say it, I'm in agreement one more time with you. But right now, you develop this philosophy, doctrine, or I don't know how to call it. There is the Ars Amorata.
Yes.
What are the main ideas of the Ars Amorata? Tell me, what do you teach through the Ars Amorata?
Is a call to action to change the way we look at the world and the way the world looks at us. It is a rebirth of romance. It is a reclamation, a desire for adventure again, which we've lost. We don't have that. We want the adventure. We don't know how to find it. It is the seeking of the greatest experiences we can possibly have from cradle to grave. The best possible memories and experiences we can possibly have until we die. And so the Ars Amorata is very much that call to action to stop waiting for the world to give us a direction Stop waiting for the right book to arrive or the right seminar to arrive. Instead, take action and stand on the earth and say, I'm going to live a life of beauty, seeking treasure from now to the day I die, no matter what that looks like. Instead, we go to our jobs in our mediocre lives, and we go through the motions. We try and save for our retirement, and like I said, we retire, get cancer, and die. So it's like a forceful grabbing hold of our life and saying, no, I want something different. No matter what, I want to fly in the wind and go as far as I can. And then I'm okay. Then I can look up at God and say, I'm ready to die now. Thank you. I did this great thing.
Of course, feeling like you have fulfilled
Mm-hmm.
what you need in life, and you're like, okay, I can die in peace right now.
Exactly.
I know what you mean by that. I've experienced a little bit of both sides, also of being like, what the hell is happening in my life? Nothing has sense, and that feeling. I think that it's Hemingway who said that when you're really in love, when you're deep in love with someone or with your own life, you're ready to die in any moment.
Yeah, it's exactly that feeling, Joe. It's like saying, I have seen the majesty of the works of God in my own life. I have traveled this earth. I have been as great as I can to the people in my life. I've loved, and I have been loved, and I've given more than I've taken. I've tried to do my best that way, and I made mistakes, and I did crazy things, and I hurt people, and at the same time, I'm going to maximize my memories, my experience, so I can look up to the sky and say, at least I did that. At least I did that.
Yeah, of course, and at least I made that is doing a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like to know if you could, who is a model that has influenced you in your life, that has had a really deep impact on you?
That's a great question, and here's my answer to that. Because I've been asked this many times, like, who did you learn from, or who was your teacher? And the truth is, strange as it sounds, is I had no teachers. I had no mentors. I grew up in the north of Canada, like I said, poor and insecure. I came out of there, and I struggled with my own self over the years. I raised myself, and I basically tried to learn what I could from experiences, because I had no teacher that said, this is how you do it. This is how you stand. This is how you look at the world. This is how you speak. This is how you present yourself. This is how you... I never really had a teacher. That's amazing to me, actually, but it's true. So mine was like a long, long road of fighting for direction and fighting for meaning, I guess you could say. But nobody gave me a helping hand. I can't think of one person.
You learned everything literally in trial and error.
Yeah, small pieces at a time. People said, what was the big idea or the big epiphany that hit you when you finally realized it? I still don't realize it. It's all been small, tiny little understandings on a daily basis and recognition, and just staying in the question and asking big questions and staying in those big questions without finding answers, but staying in the mystery of it all, and keep seeking the edges of the mystery and of the fog around it. And it's been a slow, gradual unveiling, opening process, which is still going for me. It's still going, and it'll go till the day I die. So there's never any big moment that said, wow, that's it, now I get it.
Okay, so what you're telling is that you have everything that you have learned, it has been little pieces, and you continue right now learning and being your own teacher and your own students.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I'm my own teacher. My teacher has been, for me, because I love women, my teacher has been the female spirit. In other words, women that I've met, and I've met some women that are not nice and not kind and not gentle and not sweet, just like I've met this men who are not those things. But I've met some great women in my life who looked at me, who calmed my mind down and said, here's the next step of the puzzle. So my teacher, honestly, has been women. They don't even know it, but it's like, it's their instruction that has given me some kind of understanding or some kind of base of knowledge. Not books, not myself. Myself was insecure and needy and troubled. But women taught me how to step forward to the next step, not the big picture, but the next step right there. It's just here, and I'll go to the next step. And I was a great student of women, and I still am.
And how would you say that women that are so used to badasses and some guys that are really like sons of a bitch.
Yeah.
How do you demonstrate, or how do they know that they can trust you?
Women?
Yeah. Why? Because I have met some women that I'm talking with. I agree with a lot of your philosophy. I also have learned a lot of things in life. But when I'm talking with women, they tell me like, yeah, you know, I have heard so much time this thing of you're someone honest, that you're someone that love life, and then you're just gonna like play with me and forget me. How do you turn your mind so they know that they can trust you, so they open to teach you?
I'll tell you exactly how it is. I look at a woman's eyes and I say to her, you've heard this 1,000 times before from men. Trust me, baby, trust me. You can trust me. And they're not trustworthy. And I'm going to look in your eyes, and you're going to look in my eyes right now, and I'm going to say this to you. I will never lie to you or misrepresent ever. If I like you, you will know it. If I want you in my bed, I'm going to say it to you. That's how I will, that's my commitment to you. That is my promise to you. I will speak my truth to you, and I will not misrepresent. In other words, I tell women with my voice, not just my actions. I don't try and show women with my actions I'm trustworthy. I say to her in the first moments I meet her, you can trust me from this point on, and I will not violate it. And if you say it with that kind of authority, with that kind of conviction, because it is true, a woman who never trusts men, who doesn't believe that ever from any men, will look at you and say, okay, I will trust you. And she just met me. Because it's true. That direct.
You met the woman, you tell her, you can trust me, I'm honest, you demonstrate this authority, this honesty.
Yeah,
there, you
but
can...
it's the way you say it. It's if I said, hey girl, you can trust me, because like they go, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. That sounds like everything I've heard from men before. But I look in their eyes and I say, this is my covenant with you. My covenant. My promise to you is I will not lie to you. I will be very, very straight up and honest from the day you meet me to the day you never see me again. That is for sure. And so when you say that, women look and say they've never heard that kind of conviction from a man of passion, and they hear that and they say, you know what? I don't believe men ever, but I will believe you. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that it's something that sounds simple, but it's not that easy.
Well, because you know what? You know why it's not easy? Because you have to believe it yourself. Yeah. You have to believe, like, my agenda with women is open. Like, most men have a hidden agenda. They'll meet a girl and they'll say, okay, well, or they try and act cool, they try and act distant, or they don't call her, or because they want to act like they're not needy, or they have this concept of trying to be cool and aloof. My representation, my interaction with women is very direct and very open in saying, I will promise you that my relationship with you, I just met you, but my interaction with you, my relationship with you will be open, and I'll be honest, and I'll be direct, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm thinking. And I request the same from you. And when you say that to women with that kind of authority or that kind of conviction, they will look at you and say, that I understand, that I accept, that I agree with. It's the way it is. And men don't believe it. It's that simple. Yes, it is. But the problem is because men don't believe it themselves. They think, well, I'm going to say something strong to a woman, she's going to like me, and maybe I'll get her into my bed. In other words, they have some kind of ulterior motive, some kind of goal, which is to get the girl in their bed. If my goal is to get a girl into bed, I tell her that's my goal. I say, I just met you, you're wearing a yellow dress, you're wearing red lipstick, you look beautiful to me. I would love you to be I want you to be my lover. That's my voicing. I'll say it to you with my words. Most men will never say that. When a woman hears that, she says, thank you. I can't do that because I have a boyfriend or I'm married or I didn't know that. But she will say these things, but they all say, thank you. It's refreshing to hear somebody speaking truth, because it is truth.
So it will be correct if I say that to have all the good outcome that you have in life, with women, with adventure, with passion, I could say that you are something, you are. I don't know if the world will be a lovers or an amorati.
Mm-hmm.
And for that you do some things and you have a certain outcome, but at the end it's not like what you do or what you have is who you are, a lover.
Yeah, because here's the way I look at it. Like, I know how I want my life to be experienced. I want to know how I want my life to go. And I meet a woman and I'm thinking, are you going to be part of that experience or not? And if not, that's okay. I'll shake your hand. You look cute. You're pretty. Your friend is nice. All these wonderful things. But if you're going to be part of the experience of making of my memories and my stories, then let's do it in a great way, a great authentic way, a great honest and open way. None of the games of like manipulation and who's going to text who first and who's going to answer the call first and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I believe in saying it strong and upfront, but also being non-needy in that you know who you are and it is your experience anyway. It's you're creating your life story and she can be part of it because you're inviting her into it. But that's okay if she wants something different.
Yeah, so yeah, since the first moment you are honest and it's
100%.
What?
100%. I'm 100% honest.
Nice.
In the moment I meet a girl.
I would like to continue for hours interviewing you and knowing more about you because I'm really curious about. I'm a reading love. I love reading. I read lover. I love philosophy. I have read not just about you. I have read about the game and a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Also philosophy, biology, chemistry, human mind. But of all the things that I have read, and I'm talking, I have read from Paulo Coelho and The Alchemist to biomolecular chemistry for university. I think that your book and or your life perspective is one of the things that I have most liked. So,
wow, that's a very nice word from you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know that I can't continue interviewing 3 hours because a few people would hear an interview of 3 hours. But right now, to end with this, if you have an advice, something to say to the world or to the people that you think that could change their outcomes, their life, what that would be?
Well, I'll say two things. I'll say this. Number one, my advice to people is this. Stop doing, no, let me say this better. Start to wake up in the morning, sit on the end of your bed, sit quietly and sit still and ask yourself, who am I and what do I want? And do it every day. Who am I and what do I want? And then, and without trying to answer the question, what do I want? And go through your day with that intention of saying, what do I want in this interaction with this woman? What do I want in this interaction with my job? What do I want with this interaction with the world around me. What do I want the most? And stop stressing about how to solve that problem. Instead, just sit in the question, who am I and what do I want? That's the greatest thing a guy can do. The greatest advice I can give to somebody is to sit every day for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, by yourself with nothing. Be still with nothing and think about who you are and what you want. Just ask the question into the air. And maybe you don't have an answer. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you're lost. You ask that question yourself. That's okay. Keep asking that question every day till the day you die. And your life will follow a path. And I believe that with all my heart. And and the second thing I'll say is this. I think you're right. And I think what you're trying to do is incredible. We're trying to create a better spirit in the youth of Mexico who desperately need it. They need something to look forward to, they have nothing to look forward to in the country of Mexico these days. So they have to create a new future for themselves. They have to invent it and create it and say to their fathers and the generation before, no more. We will not accept what you've given to us. We'll change it. So I completely agree with your project and what you're trying to do. And I think I think it would be exciting and interesting and amazing to actually come there and like you said, and talk to people about these very things, about what is this pessimism we have and how can we return to the concept of optimism. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Thanks, and it has meant to me a lot that you could give me this interview with you. It's awesome to have talked with you. I think that you have taught and teach a lot of incredible things that really can change not just the outcome that people has, but what people are in their depths, deep inside of them. I want to tell you that next time I wish that if you're planning to tag, we're going to talk like directly. And thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely.
This interview. Have an amazing evening there in Bucharest.
That was thank you for that.
So
it's been a nice call, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm excited about the possibilities for the future.
Thanks. So that will be everything for today, and goodbye.
Bye.
¿Y qué tal? Jero aquí otra vez. Espero que hayan disfrutado como yo disfruté esta entrevista. Coaches, quiero decirles que realmente si ponen en práctica esto de lo que hablé con Zan, que es el ser, hacer, tener, ser una clase de persona para hacer cierta clase de acciones y obtener cierta clase de resultados, pueden conseguir lo que sea en sus vidas. Vamos a hablar más a fondo en este videoblog de eso, pero espero que les haya quedado bien claro y que realmente estos pequeños puntos que hablé con Zan los puedan integrar a su vida, porque son pequeñas cosas que hacen la diferencia a gran escala. Así que vivan con pasión y sean.